Hi, Kristen with Living Now South Realty, and we are going to be looking at Lake Hartwell Lake Homes sales data. Real-time data. We're going to be looking at active, pending, and sold. We're going to be able to tell the difference between a platform doc value versus a cover doc value. So come and join me and let's take a look at the market. Welcome. We are going to chat really quickly about the Lake Hartwell market. We're going to take a look at houses that have dockability, whether it is platform or a covered dock. We're going to take a look at the Georgia side as well as the South Carolina side, which both counties have 3 different counties that border on Lake Hartwell. So we're going to be looking on the Georgia side, Hart, Franklin, and Stevens County. In South Carolina, we are looking at Anderson, Oconee, and then just a wee bit of Pickens. So I took this data, it's the first week of August, and so we are going back 60 days for sales just to kind of get a good little landscape of where our pricing is. So let's go ahead and have a look. So vacation homes has been a trend, and we have slowly seen an increase of the number of units sold. It currently takes up 17% of our market, and that is an uptick by 3%. Back in 2009, it was vacation homes represented 10% of all homes that are sold nationwide. This data was pulled from the National Association of Realtors. They do a buyer and seller profile sheet every November, so we will be getting that 2024 data in November. So we'll be able to take a look and see if vacation homes is still on trend. So when we take a look at the projected 2024 national home sales, we are projected to be able to close a little over 4 million units, and that's nationwide. When we take a look at 17% of that, we again are focusing specifically on vacation properties. So when we take a look at some of the data that was given from the home buyer and seller profile, one of the big reasons why people chose their house is that it was close to either a park or a recreation facility. So being outside is a trend that really kind of ramped up a little bit in 2020, and it's continuing to ramp up. And what we're seeing on the lake specifically is that with people being able to virtually work or go to the office online, they're able to live in different parts of the country and take advantage of those recreation facilities, which Lake Hartwell falls into that. So again, we are still seeing a rise of office vacancy space. And so in 2024, we're actually a little bit over 20%, which means that Zooming, you guys attending and watching this video, it is on trend. So we are able to be very effective in our jobs, and we are able to dial into work, which is kind of fun. And again, that is having some of the vacation home market on Hartwell become a full-time home for many. I wanted to share with you, again, this was taken from a mid-year review. It's data pulled from the National Association of Realtors, but look at Georgia and South Carolina. So home prices have appreciated pre-COVID since 2019 by almost 60%. Now we are going to start seeing a little bit of a pullback on the market. We're feeling it now. Our days on market is ticking up. Actually, our overall median sales price ticked up for the first half of 2024. That will probably end up stabilizing or just going a little bit below. So we're going to start seeing more inventory on the market, longer days on the market. But remember, lake property is still a hot commodity. There is only a certain number of homes that have access to a lake. And from what you guys learned earlier, the availability of the water, whether you can have a covered or platform dock, is huge. The view is huge when you're shopping for lake property or selling lake property. And then, of course, the ease of access to the water is very important when we're pricing lake houses. This was a really interesting trend, and we really saw this at the beginning of the first quarter of 2024. But we, again, had an uptick of cash buyers of pushing almost 30% of all transactions were cash. So we are all kind of anticipating for that to kind of dial down a little bit for the remaining part of the year. But we've got folks that are cashing in and being able to take that money and put it into real property as another secured investment. And for those that are looking to add to their portfolio and really be able to hop in to the short-term rental market, notice that that demand is still very viable. So we've got a huge, again, occupancy rate. A lot of folks loved the ease of some of the apps. They love the fact that they can rent a single family home. And of course, they love the amenities that come with that single family home. So short-term rentals is still a great industry to, again, create and build wealth and using a vacation property to be able to do such. So let's go ahead and pull the platform, and this is also community. So if we had a community doc and if we had a platform doc available for the subject, which is the single family home, I also open it up to townhomes and I open it up to mobile homes. So these all had access to the water and had some ability to tie up a dock that was to a floating platform, not just pulling it up on the beach. So let's take a look and see what the two states are offering. So when we take a look at the Georgia sales currently active, we have 9 active homes on the market. And this is homes that have platforms or access to a community dock. Our days on market is ticking up, guys. This is probably the highest days on market that I've seen. 115 days on the market. Average median sales price is right under 700. When we look at the past 60 days of solds, and I just pulled this data, we had 7 homes sold. And again, this is that 3-county brushstroke. So this includes Franklin, Hart, as well as Stevens. We had a median sales price of $470, and we had 39 days on the market. So we're starting to see numbers from Q2 and numbers from Q3 maybe going to start predicting a little bit longer days on the market, a little bit lower as far as the median sales price. Really quickly, if you haven't watched one of my videos before, I like looking at the median sales price. And the reason why is it's going to throw out the anomalies. It's going to throw out the highest and the lowest to give us a good idea of what truly the median price is. When we take a look at South Carolina, again, this data is pulled from Western Upstate, we have 16 listings that either have access to a platform dock or have access to a community dock. Again, the 3 counties are Oconee, Pickens, as well as Anderson County. And let's take a look at what we've got here. Our median sales price active is $426, and look how many homes we have for sale under $550. And then look at the number of solds that we have. And when we take a look at the number of solds, we have a total of only 4. Now, this is since June 1st. So this is basically 66 days. And then when we take a look, we'll see that we've had more sales between the purchase price of $551 to $750. So our median sold price is $585 for a platform community dock in South Carolina. So when we bounce on over to the cover dock sales on the Georgia side, again, we've got those 3 counties. We currently have 4 active and 7 pending sales. So when I average all those together, we end up having, look how many houses are for sale over $1 million, guys, 13. And when we look at the solds in the past 66 days, there's only been 1 house that is sold in that price point. So when we look at that price banding, we notice that the active houses that are in that price point, they are going to take just about a year to sell if this data continues, if the sale continues. It taking one house, it takes 2 months to sell. So when we look at under 550, we don't have a lot of homes that are under 550 that are currently active. We have 7. And then under 550 that are sold are 3. So that's just going to take approximately about 2 and change months to be able to sell a house under 550. Now, where it seems to be a little bit of the sweet spot is when we take a look at the active or under contract, we have 8 from 751 to 1,000,000. And when we look at the number of solds, we just about have the same amount. So it is taking a little longer than 1 month to sell that particular price point. So that seems to be a price point that people really like. Again, I want you to pay attention to days on market. Look at your days on market here on the active sheet. We've got 94 days on market on average. And when we look at the sold, we've had 15 sold on Georgia with a cover dock. It only took an average of 26, or a median number of days, 26. So again, showing us that those days on market is starting to tick up. When we take a look at South Carolina, we begin to see that we have 23 current lake homes for sale, averaging $1 million. The number of days on market, you're looking at about 74. And again, look at that $1 million to $2 million price point. We're pretty heavy in that band. So we've got a lot of houses when we compile that with Georgia. When we take a look at South Carolina, or the Georgia covered dock sold in the past 66 days, we actually sold quite a number of them, between $1 million to $2 million, but where that sweet spot was between 551 and 750. We sold 6 homes, and the availability in that band right now is only 4. So you're looking at under a month. So if you were a buyer and you were looking at that price point, get competitive on your offer, because there's not a lot of houses for sale in that price range. So did you guys notice the difference between a platform dock and a cover dock as far as price? And I wanted to just summarize, because this is probably the number one question that I've asked, is what is the cost difference? What do I have to pay to get a cover dock? And then what little amount am I going to be able to pay to be able to have access? So as we can see here, we are looking at a little over $100,000, actually 100 and change in both Georgia and South Carolina, on the difference between the median sold price in Georgia, the median sold price in South Carolina for platform or community. And then when we pop into covered, which is really, the max water, max view, that sort of thing, where we can put that boat lift in and have a lot of fun on the water, we are driving prices about $130,000 more for a covered dock. So again, it's about affordability. So I know when Raymond and I first bought our lake house, the very first house that we bought had a platform dock. We made money on that house. We ended up selling it, and we built the same exact floor plan on another lot that we could end up having a covered dock, because we really wanted to park a boat, leave it, go and do what we needed to do in Metro Atlanta, and then come back and enjoy the lake without having to trail the boat in and out. So that gives you a good idea on the difference of pricing right now in 2024. So if you are a buyer, guys, hire an agent that can sell both sides of the lake. Even if you may not be wanting to purchase in South Carolina or Georgia, if you really want to just stay in one particular state, make sure that that's the case. Because if you have an agent that can only show one side of the lake, you're missing out on 50% of the inventory. The Army Corps of Engineers is great with information. They have a website. They have a downloadable shoreline management plan that can answer a lot of questions about what you can and cannot do to their property, which your property is going to end up abutting. And then also, if you have not checked out our website, visit Living Down South. And here's a screenshot of our website, and I will tell you why. One of our owners, Vic, was gracious enough to work with a web designer to be able to search for lakefront properties on different lakes. He put in all the criteria, dockable. He put in all that for you. It's all pre-done. All you have to do is choose where you want to look, click a button, and then it feeds to all the multiple listing services. So I promise you, you are not going to be cheated and not see all of the properties for sale. So register and go visit our website. It is fantastic. And I actually love working on it. It is mobile friendly as well. Sellers, if you are going to be putting a lake home on the market, make sure that you hire an agent who understands how to market those lake features. Your money shot is that dock. Your money shot is the water, the view, and the accessibility. And make sure that your agent knows how to market those, because that is how the agent speaks to potential buyers, is through their marketing. Make sure that you look for a brokerage company that maximizes your listing exposure. And here's a perfect example between the difference of a very popular consumer site and what Living Down South has done just in an organic post with being able to share. And then we've got a lot of followers on our social media pages. And then we have agents that are sharing these posts as well. The other thing that we also saw in both Georgia and South Carolina is the past 60 sales were under 30 days on the market, and we're noticing that active listings are staying on the market longer. One was 74 and one was 90s. So price is going to matter. Follow your agent and really do your due diligence on looking price. And if you can improve the condition, hey, that's a great thing you can do, because here's why. Your house is going to look fantastic on the computer when you improve that condition. So as always, I want to thank you for being here, for taking the time to learn about lake property, what's happening in the marketplace. I am Kristen. I am one of the brokers in leadership here at Living Down South. I live and reside on Lake Hartwell. I've been coming up here since I was just a little kid. So I'm very familiar with the lake, and I sell on both sides of the lake. So would love the opportunity to work with you, sell your beautiful lake house, or help you purchase a great place for you to hang out with your family and friends. Hope everybody has a wonderful day, and thanks again for watching my video. We'll talk to you soon.